Okay, hello everyone. Today we are having session about writing personal statement, supplemental essays, which is a crucial part of the application. So the theme of the today's webinar is Write Your Way In, the Secret to Winning US University Admission. And the speaker is Gulsevar Usmonkulova. She is an admission mentor at Globstudy, and she's also a full scholarship holder at Knox College and Columbia University co-op program. And she applied and got accepted to more than 90 prestigious universities in the US, UK, and Malaysia. She's majoring in pre-med and biomedical engineering at Knox and Columbia co-op program. So we can start now.
Mhm. Okay, hello guys. My name is Gulsevar, as so told and mentioned. So today's webinar is going to be about writing personal statement, which is like really hardship part of the application itself, because a lot of students don't know what to write and what kind of things to mention in their personal statement. So this webinar is going to be like really helpful for you guys to write a draft and then write the personal statement itself on your own. So the thing is, we are just saying the secret to winning the university admissions, like American admissions, because a lot of people confuse the personal statement with the motivational essay. The differences between these two are like really, I would say, they are really different two things. In motivational letter, we will just mention and to get a position to some kind of a university or like program or maybe a job that you're applying, and you will show the academic motivation that you have. But when it comes to personal statement, it's really totally different. You are showing your personality to the universities who are gonna accept you. So we can start. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, personal statement is like a piece of creative writing, I would say. And let's take a look at this image. A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and okay, short enough to create an interest. Winston Churchill. What does it mean? It means that your writing should be quality, like full of quality and not quantity, because in the Common App essay, you have 250 words until 650 word limit. So I see a lot of students who are trying to reach that limit, like 600, 650, even 649 and stuff. So if your writing is a piece of shit that you cannot just convey on your writing, just stop and just edit and like delete some parts that you're gonna don't need. Okay, let's go. A personal statement is an essay that helps a school understand the values, skills, interests, and qualities you bring to the campus and community. Schools use it to get a feel for who you are and in some ways have you the school fit together. Okay, the thing is, I mentioned that personal statement is like a piece of writing that you can show your personality to the universities who are going to accept you. And a lot of people say that personal statement is like a crucial part of your application. And I would say like the best part for getting admission to good universities. Because if you have like normal ACT scores, normal IELTS, and normal like extracurricular activities, if your personal statement is unique and you can show your core qualities to the admissions officers, I think you can win the admissions and like get full tuition scholarships to study in the US or maybe other countries as well. Okay, why they need personal statement? There are a lot of parts of the application where you can mention GPA, test scores, extracurriculars, but there are like thousands of students who are getting accepted each year, and schools like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, like Ivy Leagues, they need students who are different from each other. And how they will select different students? They select on their personal statement, according to their personal statements. If you were about to invite a couple of thousand strangers to live at your house for 4+ years, you would probably want to get a sense of who was going to show up at the door. Colleges are thinking the same thing. Uh-huh. So they're kind of like funding you. They want to know what kind of person who is coming to the college to live with you, to have communication with them. So you need to show what kind of person you are through that 600-word writing, okay? And let's move on to another slide. So this is a reflection of personal statement that you will use when you're writing your piece of writing for the university applications. So this is you, like a Superman. You think that you are cool. I know everyone's special. Okay, got it. But the thing is, when you are writing, it should be the quality of writing and your skills of academic writing itself. For instance, some students will just write, "Oh, I like competing with others and stuff." But it's not just like mentioning your qualities. You need to mention them in a unique way that people will understand and can relate to. So here's the reader who's reading the application, and you're just the, cosplaying person here, not the Superman itself. So you need to show and have really good skills in writing itself to show what kind of person you are clearly. Okay, let's go to another slide. What kind of mistakes or like what we should do in the personal statement, what to include in your personal statement. Represent at least these four in your writing. So if you take a look at the Common App application, then the writing, they ask you to show your personality. It's really hard to show your personality because the limit is like 650 words and you cannot because it's like 17, 18 years of experience. So these are like the four core qualities that you can mention there. Okay, the first one, core values. Demonstrating your values is pretty fundamental. Why? It shows what kind of person you are. For instance, like if you are really grateful, if you are like really helpful, so there should be basic 6 or 5 qualities that your personal statement will combine to explain what kind of person you are and what are you doing as a person or helping others. And let's go to the second one, insight and reflection. Have you worked on thinking about why these moments, experiences are important to you? Have you developed the ability to reflect? Okay, while writing your personal statement, you cannot just mention 16 or 17 years of experience there. You need to just pick one event or like moment that happened in your life that you feel so important to share. And here you need to think why it is so important that you are sharing there. You need to just ask your question, why, what, in what ways I can just explain that my life is related to this moment, and what kind of like life lessons I learned from this obstacle, so like the event of realization. And let's go to the third one, vulnerability. Does your writing essay offer moments that allow us readers to feel closer to you? Is your heart coming through? Okay, when you are writing the personal statement, you need to write the things that actually happen. You cannot just make up something that has never been. For instance, like you can not just fake living in another country, because if you don't know and if you don't know how it feels, it's not gonna work. And if you lie, you can sometimes exaggerate, but just don't make up a situation that has never happened to you, that you cannot feel yourself. How are you gonna like make others feel the same thing? Okay, craft. Does your essay show that you are ready to write in college? Okay, it's like really basic thing to write. However, in college itself, like university, when you go to the university, there were like a lot of writings, academic ones and creative writings that you have to deal with. There were like a lot of pages of research papers that you have to deal with. So you're kind of like showing your potential to work with the paperwork when you go to the college. And it means that there should be no grammatical mistakes, no, I would say, punctuation mistakes. So you need to take care of them at the first, I would say, stage. Okay, let's go to the requirement session. So these are like pretty simple if you take a look at it like in a normal way. So the word limit is like from 250 words to 650 words. Remember, 650 word is your limit, not your goal, okay? Normally, people would write in 400, 500 words. That is enough to convey all of the informations. And you need to make paragraphs with smooth transition, like in the beginning and in the like going up. Okay, you cannot just get something out of nowhere and just throw a bomb at the readers. Like for instance, like, oh, we're living really peacefully and our house got bombed. You cannot just throw something at the readers of your application. You cannot just shock them. It's gonna be like out of nowhere. Okay, so we got the requirements, right? And there is some, I would say, suggestions that you need to do when you're writing your personal statements. Okay, the first one, stay focused and relevant. When you're writing your personal statement, you need to know what kind of values, core values, or like what are you gonna talk about. There's like 7 prompts in Common App section that you have to pick one and make sure that you are not going out of topic. You just need to stay focused and relevant and give the information that is needed on your personal statement. Okay, be specific, use examples and evidence. Give evidence. Why we are saying be specific? Because it shows that it's real. The information is real. For instance, you can just say, oh, I used to watch cartoons. No, you cannot just say I used to watch cartoons. You need to like kind of make it specific. Like I used to watch Masha Medved or something like that. So it kind of like shows the reader that something actually happened because you are giving examples and evidence. Okay, be authentic, enthusiastic, and persuasive. What I mean by authentic, because if you take a look at the majority of students, they only write about sports and their hobbies and then artwork that they did. I know you have a lot of talents, but there is another section to write your talents, interests. They have supplements that are specifically for these ones. And why am I saying be authentic? You cannot just copy and paste others' personal statement because it's like their perspective and their personalities. Enthusiastic. If you're writing 500 and 650 words in your personal statement, you need to show something that is so relevant that you can just only share it for your acceptance to the universities in America. And persuasive. Persuasive means like you just need to show your potential in something, not only your characteristics. You need to have links to the future or like the things that you will do in the college itself. So it should show again progress in itself. The writing, you should get better as the writing would go, like from the introduction to the ending. And it should show somehow, what do you say it? Okay, let me just get back. And avoid generic and obvious statements. Okay, when you're writing, there is something called cliche, the thing that you keep repeating, or like a lot of students just do the same. For instance, like you will just say, I learned how to take the obstacles and encounter them. You cannot just say, I learned or I did this, 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 this. You need to show them in a like unique way. For instance, like I advise my students to use metaphors for these parts of the, like it should be like in the ending that you learn something, and it's gonna be generic if you guys say that I did this, not mention I in writing itself, because it's gonna be like really basic structure. Okay, try for a memorable and then strong opening and an engaging middle and tie up with the key points you want to make at the end. Okay, personal statement itself should be, in IELTS, we will have like structures, lines that go up a little and then stay and then go down, right? But in personal statement, you need to have like this linear way. It should be like progressive, everything. For instance, like it should be like in 4 parts. First of all, it's introduction, and the second like is engaging middle, like you are just writing something is happening there. Introduction should be somehow a moment that everything started, and the engaging will be like everything is going, everything is progressing, you are learning something, and then there should be a climax that everything is happening, interesting part of the reading application and the person statement. And then at the conclusion, you need to stay after the climax a bit, just think about what you learned there, what kind of conclusion you made because of the obstacles that you faced or like an event that happened there. And the thing is, when you're writing your introduction, you should use somehow hook that will just take the attention of the reader, and then just make your personal statement itself unique. Because, for instance, like, I can just give you an example. I have read a personal statement of a medical student who is applying to medical universities. Okay, he is really afraid of the blood, and he wants to be a medical student there. Like, he wants to be a doctor. So he started with the introduction, like, blood. I hate blood. And this was the introduction. It's like kind of hooking because the student wants to become a doctor, but he hates and like faints whenever he sees the blood. So it's kind of like taking the attention of the reader and making him to read the application itself. Okay, when it comes to the conclusion, you should link to the future things that you want to do. For instance, like your goals and what is going to happen. So the conclusion should be like really smooth and convey all of the informations and the core values that you learned from the event or realization. In the ending, it should be like 5 or 6 sentences overall. Okay, let's take a look at the other options. Think about what you are saying and what it says about you. Sell yourself. Okay, the thing is, you cannot just get something out of nowhere and write on your personal statement. I mean, you can use metaphors or like somehow moments that doesn't even make sense. However, at the end, it should have values that you share with the common app or like the application for the universities that will show your perspective to the readers who are reading your application. And I would say when you are approaching your personal statement, you need to be a reader and writer at the same time. After you write tons of drafts, you need to ask someone who you think is a better reader than yourself, and then read it yourself and just get the opinions of other people as well, because they might see what you are not seeing there. Okay, let's go to the other slide. Reasons for rejections. First of all, repeating yourself and avoiding repeating words close together. Okay, whenever you repeat something again and again and again, it's gonna get boring and the quality of your writing is gonna be low. And if you will repeat something, it's like you're just copying and pasting again the same sentence to meet the word limit. And if the admissions officers would just read this, like the writing itself, they would just say, you're not ready for college. You're just copying and pasting the same thing again. And you're not showing me the quality. So I will not accept you. And I will just accept the rich kid or like the person who has like alumni connections and stuff. Wasting characteristics, listing academics. It's not a CV. It's not your extracurricular activity list. Common App has everything. You can just share your CV with the universities if you want. Don't just say, I won a first place in a competition, or like, I got this medal there, blah, blah, blah. It's not a CV. You need to write about your personality, show your personality there. So it's a basic rejection reason for your personal statement itself. Using cliches. As I mentioned before, if you're using the same thing as others would do, it's, the academic officers, they read, I would say like 200 or 300 essays each day when they're like accepting the students. And if they see some people will just talking about having injuries about like sports or like talking about not getting accepted to the school that they wanted. It's really cliche because a lot of students write about it, and just say that if your writing is not unique and the admissions officers that are reading the same thing again and again, they will just skip you because they have like 2 minutes maximum to read your application itself, and 2 to 5 minutes, like, and the 2 minutes of the application reading is like for your personal statement. If they don't like it, they will just not take a look at it, and your application competition will get lower. You will go to the lower level and not like potentially selected level, okay? So be sure not to use cliches. I mean, sport injury or talking about your grandma can be, I would say, unique, but it depends on the story itself. Okay, expecting to get it right the first time, you will need several drafts. I see a lot of students who treat personal statement itself as a like really, I would say, IELTS writing, like part one and part two, or task one and task two, but it's not. It's like winning a gold lottery or something like that. Because you cannot just explain yourself in one personal statement, like 650 words. It's gonna be really hard, and you will just need to ask yourself, am I really that kind of person? Am I giving the same information that I wanted to the admissions committees or not? So you will need to change the draft, and it's gonna be better. You will get an experience from that. Okay, so the first one is not the best most of the time. So congratulations if you get the interview. It means that you are ready, and the admissions committee think that you have potential. However, if you're mentioning in your personal statement that I am like really cool guy, I'm extroverted, sociable, and I'm really like I won national Olympiads and stuff. So you're showing that you are not that person in your writing, like in the essays. In the essays, I mean, in your personal statement and supplements. And when you get the interview, they want to see what kind of person you are there because you have a chance to get accepted there. And the thing is, you need to show what you did, like what you wrote on those essays on the interview itself as well. Okay, if you're not doing that, they will just see, okay, this kid is rich and they like bought some kind of like Harvard student to write their essays, and it's fake. So you need to write it yourself and make it read to other people just to see that if it's reflecting you or not, to make sure that when you meet with the admissions committees that you are the same person as in your writings itself. Okay, so congratulations for applying for this early decision and early admission term. However, I see a lot of students who are like really procrastinating a lot, and I was the same student as you guys as well. So as Uzbeks say, if you will give us like 365 days to complete the task, we'll do it on the last day. So a lot of students who are not ready for the personal statements and the supplements, I would just say, why you guys are not going crazy? Like, it's in 4 and 5 days there. Okay, starting to prepare documents, like a lot of students just start to open their common apps like 4 or 5 days before because they had no idea that early decision is like coming really soon. And the last few hours, they would say, oh gosh, I have 8 hours. That's a lot of time. I'll just write everything. I'll just fill out the common app. And then it's like 11:59, 31st of October, and they have submitted everything. So it's just 2 or 3 minutes left until the 1st November. So don't do that. Don't stress out yourself because it will lower the application itself. You need to review it again and again and again. If there will like somehow mistakes that you did, you cannot like edit it if you are just submitting it at the end of the day. Okay, let's go to personal statement and the writings that you will make like common mistakes on your writing. First of all is being too generic. Like you're just saying, I like ice cream. Don't say I like ice cream. just say why you like ice cream, or how did you get to know ice cream, or just explain it in a broader way. Give me details, give me specific reasons, and it somehow will show that it's the real situations that happen in your life. So don't be too generic to explain something, or like the situations that happen in your life. Don't just say, I learned I can play piano. No, don't just say I can learn play piano. I can do Mozart's, or like Beethoven's, some kind of like piece of music, or just give me examples. Lack of focus or cohesion. Okay, if you are being lacking in cohesion there, you know, it shows that you are not that intellectually, I would say, gifted. You need to be there smart enough to explain what you did, and your like okay questions and solving skills. So you need to be intellectually curious at the same time, and show that you are great fit for the colleges to get accepted, and that you are ready for the college, I would say, period itself. Listing accomplishments. This is the third time mentioning it. It's not CV. You cannot just write or like explain what you did there, or how you like kind of won the scholarship or stuff. Overly formal language, 9 writing in IELTS. Okay, I see a lot of students who are trying to like convey C2, C1 vocabulary in their personal statements and supplements. It's not right like way, because if your IELTS like writing is not 9, don't write in 9, because they will just say this kid didn't write this stuff because his IELTS is like not this level. So just try to maintain the same level of writing as you have in your IELTS or like other test scores. Okay? And focusing on someone else. This is really interesting topic. For instance, like I have seen a lot of students who are writing about their mother, father, grandpas, or like grandmas, or their friend that has passed away. So the personal statement is a way to explain yourself to the readers of your application. And you are applying for the colleges, not your grandmothers, or like not your parents. So you need to show that your quality is not theirs. Okay, you can write, you can mention your parents, grandparents, or like your friends in the writing. However, don't make it that much. You should stay with the quality and explain why you are mentioning them here. Okay, let's go. Ending with weak conclusions. As I mentioned before, conclusion is like you're just giving continuation of your story to the readers of your application. For instance, like it's gonna continue after I get accepted to your college. You will see what is gonna happen. Or you can just conclude it with, I can't wait for the next chapter of my life, or something like that. So the conclusion shouldn't be like the ending itself. It should have some kind of a continuation, or link to the continuation itself there. So what I mean by weak, you need to just say that I learned something there, and I got better, and I think I'm gonna be better, and I'm gonna strive to become the best version of myself in the future. And it should make some sense, of course, and then just give some qualities that you want to show to the personal statement readers who are at least professor level, and they need to see the potential that you have after you finish your degree in their colleges. Okay, neglecting proofreading. Okay, I see a lot of students who are writing really good essays with really good qualities and core qualities. However, they have really basic common mistakes on their grammar structures, punctuations, and even the letters itself. So just try to proofread. For instance, like it's touching for the students who are not ready for the early decision or early action deadline. So make sure that you have your personal statement at least like 6 hours before the deadline itself. You need to proofread, you need to see and ask questions that you are like curious about. not changing perspectives. What I mean by that, you are just a writer here. You need to think from the perspective of the reader itself as well, because the people who are going to read the application will decide if you're getting accepted or not. So changing your perspective is going to be really, I would say, beneficial for yourself. And if you will change your perspective, you can just see, oh my God, if I read my application and this personal statement, it's not showing what happened there. So probably I need to change this example or like the moment that happened there. Or maybe I need to make it and use like less or basic, I would say, structures or like the names, maybe even the words there, to make it easy to read for the person who is reading there, because they might not be the native speaker of the English, because there'll be like some international people who are reading the application yours as well. So you need to give them a quality and an opportunity to read your application fully. Okay. And this is my favorite part. When you're writing your personal statement, you need to show me, not tell. Like, don't tell me what happened. Like, for instance, like I worked. Don't tell me you worked. Or like, don't tell me you learned something. Tell me how and where and what kind of things you learn and in what ways. Show me progress, what happened in details. It should be in details. That will make your personal statement real and show the readers of your application that you experienced something in real. Don't make it too generic and just don't tell, show me. Okay, the typical errors. Let's go to supplement section. Supplements are the college-specific questions that the colleges like require, not all the times, but a lot. There are three types of college supplements that are really common. First of all, it's about why this university, why you are choosing this university. Second one is about, why this major, why you are specifically choosing this major out of like all the majors that we offer there. And the third one is like, how are you going to contribute to the university when you come here? So these three are the most common supplements that you will see on your application, I would say, season. Okay. So there are like typical errors that students make when they're writing their supplemental essays. First of all, not answering the prompt directly. They are giving you specific prompt that you have to write on the word limitation that they will give. It's going to be like 250 words normally, or 350, or some universities just go crazy and ask for you to write 600 words or maybe 5 words itself. So it's going to be really, it depends on the university, and they can change it any ways they want. They can ask you anything that they want. But the thing is, you need to just follow the instructions that they are giving in the prompt itself. Just make sure that you are answering the prompt, every details and every sentence there. Okay, overusing general praise. Oh, good. What I mean by that, general praise, praise me, right? You're just worshiping the university, saying that, oh my gosh, I want to go to Harvard because it's Harvard. You guys are like prestigious. Okay, as a student who's applying to universities, we know that Harvard is prestigious. Their brand, they're really good. They're #1 university in the world and stuff. And they know it as well. So you don't have to show it. And it's gonna be really generic. And you're just saying, oh my gosh, I want to go. Please accept me. Your university is so good. No, you cannot just do that. You need to explain and do research about it. For instance, like what Harvard offers. Maybe you can just talk about its library. The library is so huge. There's everything you can find to do research and other things as well. So you can just mention the Harvard Library, not like just say Harvard is prestigious. They know that they are prestigious. You need to show details that will help you when you go to college, and you're just considering because it's really, I would say, useful for you. And that's why you're choosing this university out of others. There should be reasons. Okay, the second one is overusing, okay, third one, lacking school-specific research. When I see people writing the same thing, like general phrase, they don't have like context to write the things about. For instance, like if you don't do research, how are you gonna say, why are you choosing this university? In a lot of cases, the students will answer they will give a lot of scholarships. Okay, so you're gonna like bragging, like asking them to give you money. Why? They're giving you money for free. They need something in return. So you need to make sure that you're showing and telling them that you were selected them because of their other qualities, maybe their research opportunities, maybe their professors that are good, or maybe their other opportunities that they will give for the students who are undergraduate level. Okay. Let's go to the other one, forgetting to highlight the fit. So when are you like mentioning the programs or like the professors or maybe some classes that they offer, you need to mention it fully because it shows that you did the research, you know a lot of specific details about the university and your major there. So they will show that you really do care about the university and getting accepted them. So it shows kind of like praise itself there. You're you're just not saying I like this university. You need to show that you value them. You want to get accepted because you want to use those things that they are offering. So you need to show everything there. Okay, let's go to other prompt. Overly formal or stiff writing. Don't be afraid to show your personality. So students go crazy and write in academic way, like really academic writing. I know you need to mention your academic things, but it doesn't mean that your writing should be academic itself. You just need to like just use the same tone as you used for the personal statement. It's like other part of your application that is a bit related to the academics itself, but you are showing your personality as well here. So don't be afraid to write in basic words or like the words that you use in everyday life. So it's okay. Not proofreading for typos or school names. Just make sure that you are spelling the school name correctly because if you don't like spell it normally or like the same thing, they're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, he cannot write the school name. Why we should accept him?" Or like maybe the programs that they're offering, maybe the professors. So just make sure that it's correct. Okay, writing an extended version of the personal statement. Don't mention the same thing as your personal statement because it's gonna be like repetitive. And they will just say, oh, it's the same thing. Why should I just read this? And they will just skip it. And if you're mentioning something new at the end, they will just not take a look at it. So don't try to mention the same thing as your personal statement. Okay, let's go. When it comes to supplements that you need to follow the rules, these are fixed rules, basic rules that you can do and write a really good personal statement, no, not personal statement, but supplement for the universities. Okay, the first one, do research and start your research earlier. You can use their official websites, you can use AIs, for instance, like ChatGPT, or maybe the Google search itself. You will get to know a lot of information about the university and it will help you to pick a major if you don't have it there. And just take a look at the opportunities that they offer and if this conveys like for your major as well. And take a look at the campus as well because there can be some spots that will like really be interesting and maybe you can just write about it on your supplements. For instance, like when I was applying for the Yale University, I just mentioned that their dining hall looks like Hogwarts. So it was really the part of the application and the research that hooked me up. So I just wanted to write about it. Okay, find new things to tell. As I mentioned before, you need to give other part of your application in the other part of the application. For instance, like if the school is asking why this major, you need to be specific and just say other new things. For instance, like some kind of event or moment that happened in your life that made you choose this major, or maybe you thought it was relevant to other people. So just make sure that you are giving me another information, not the same. Why us? I say, like, I'm shortly just giving some clear prompts. Okay, in YSSA, you need to give specific reasons for choosing the university because you are going there and not picking other universities. So there need to be specific reason that you are going there and study overseas, like paying a lot of money if you are not gonna get like full tuition scholarship or like fully funded scholarships there. And it shows that you are kind of serious about studying there. And just to research and start earlier, maybe today, just take a look at the supplements if you're not done with them. And the other supplement type is whitest major. Please know your major. Do research about your major because I see a lot of students who are planning to do majoring in physics, engineering, but they have no idea what their major is concentrated in or what kind of things or maybe courses that they are going to study in the university itself. So just make sure that you know your major itself to talk about it and show me your motivations or like the period that sparkled the, I would say, motivation for starting this major and the goals that you want to accomplish after completing your degree in the university with their help. Okay, let's go to that one. Short and understandable sentences. You need to write short and understandable sentences because the readers who are gonna read your application, they should like get to know you fully and get to know what you are writing there. And you need to take the reader's perspective as well, this part as well. And perspective and contribution essays, like they will ask, I know that you are international student, you are gonna give me other perspective and background things. So how are you gonna contribute to my university? Just show me what are you gonna do it. Probably students will say, oh my gosh, I will go and use your library, use your things there, and I will do research. So they're only thinking about themselves. Like they will just use it, they will do research with their helps and stuff, but it's not gonna be beneficial for the university who's accepting and paying for you for 4 years. So you need to give it back. You need to make something that is useful and it's gonna make their university better. So you need to show some kind of project that you're gonna make in the university when you go there. Okay, let's go to, okay, there are some personal recommendations that I will give you guys to write your writing pieces. So first of all, try to be as simple as possible by writing. You need to just mention what it is, not exaggerating or like not lying. You need to write what you have and what you think is valuable to share on your personal statement and the application itself. Okay, second one, always to answer questions, what, why, and how. Think about it, why you are mentioning this in this specific prompt. Why and why you are mentioning, like you need to give me specific details and just make sure that you are mentioning it not in a generic way. Use some metaphors or maybe some kind of like moments to explain what happened, not just say, oh, I did this. Don't say I did this. Or maybe you can just say, something has helped me to do this. Don't just say, I did this. Don't use I, because it's somehow will show that you are being egoistic. Don't be like that. And let's go to the third one. Don't stress out. It's just a letter. So you don't need to be stressed out when it comes to supplements itself. But however, I would just say be a bit stressed out because of your personal statement, because this is the letter that you're going to use for every university. And supplements can vary, so you can just treat personal statement more rather than treating your supplements itself. But if you have time, manage everything and make it perfect. Let's go to the fourth one. Common App essays are not IELTS essays or lexical or poetry. So you need to make sure that you are not going out of the instructions at the Common App for the supplements and your personal statement there. Don't treat them like IELTS. It's not the same structure. Okay, the fifth one, put yourself in the shoes of others. I mean, by that I mean the readers of your application. Okay, so the readers of your application, they have completed their PhDs, they're kind of like professors and they're experts in their fields. So if you're thinking that they don't know what IT means or like what government means, and you're just trying to explain it to them, they will think that you are being somehow egoistic again. You're just showing that, oh my gosh, you don't know this. I know this. I need to explain this. No, make sure that you know what kind of people that are approaching your personal statement as an evaluation of your application there. Okay, the sixth one, strong introduction. You need to have a strong introduction. As I mentioned earlier, it should be a hook that will just take the attention of the reader and carry it through the ending of your personal statement there. And don't brag. It's really bad because you're just bragging is like really a big red flag. You're just showing that, oh my gosh, I did this and I'm better than everyone. I'm better than you. No, don't do that. It's gonna affect your application and they will just say, no, they want good people, not you. Don't victimize yourself. I see a lot of students whose parents got divorced, maybe someone went and died, or something happened that they lost someone, financial crisis or something. Don't say, I need your money, I need the education that you guys offer. Please accept me and give me free like education. Don't do that. You're kind of like victimizing yourself and you're asking for the money. So it's a red flag. They will just say, why should I do that? It's not my problem. So make sure that you are not victimizing yourself and asking for the money or like asking for the gratitude that you don't deserve there. Okay, the ninth one, don't worship. When you are approaching the universities or like someone, specifically maybe you're mentioning the professors of the university that you want to do research with, don't say, this guy did this and he won Nobel Prize. That's why I want to go there. No, don't worship him. Just show that what kind of research he did and why you think it's interesting and how it's gonna align with your the research or like the programs that you are gonna do with the professor itself. So make sure that you're treating him as a normal person, like your friend maybe. Don't say that he won Nobel Award or he's like a president of United States. Don't say that. Don't worship them because of their titles. Okay, the 10th one, don't go out of topic. There are specific instructions and the specific topic that you need to follow until the end of the essay. So if you go out and get something out of nowhere, for instance, maybe the prompt was about why this university, and you're just mentioning Harvard out of nowhere, people will just say, you're not applying for Harvard, you're applying for this university. Why you are mentioning this? It's gonna be like, really? Out of topic, and you are gonna confuse the readers of your application, and it's gonna be a big minus for yourself. So make sure that you are in the topic and you are following the instructions that are given when you're applying for the universities. Okay. When you begin editing your first draft, dark and difficult times lie ahead, and soon we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy. So the thing I want to say here, you don't give life lessons there. Personal statement is not motivational, speech. You just need to say what happened to you, why you learned, and why you think it's like impressive event that happened in your life. Don't just say, okay, waking up earlier is gonna become like progressive and stuff. Don't give me suggestions. I know that. And don't give me life lessons. Personal statement is not a place to give life lessons, okay? And then there is some helpful resources that you can write and see how personal statements look like and what kind of ways that you can write. So these are like 50 successful Ivy League application essays, Harvard and Dartmouth. And there's like another college essay, I would say PDF version of this book, which explains step-by-step guide of writing personal statement on your own and the brainstorming itself. It gives a lot of essays and as an examples. The thing is, don't plagiarize everything. Because if you do that, Common App will detect it and just delete your application out of nowhere. They will not just accept it. They will not give it to the universities. Make sure that you are not plagiarizing others' applications and their supplements or maybe their personal statements. Okay, so I'm done. Guys, do you have any other questions regarding personal statements and applying to the universities?
Thank you very much for presentation, Gulsevar. It was nice to hear your experience and your speech. And we have a question in chat from Ibrahim. Where are you now and what country?
Okay. It's interesting. I just came back to Uzbekistan yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I landed Uzbekistan yesterday, and so recently I won a Yurt Umidi scholarship, and I'm gonna study and continue my degree in the University of Glasgow, which is located in the UK. So yeah, I just came back yesterday from America. Other
Okay, so
questions?
you're going back to UK then. So you'll go to UK.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What are you planning to study at University of Glasgow?
I will do a double degree there or try every degree there. For instance, like genetics, my major, and then
Mhm.
I'm planning to do major again in the biomedical engineering there because I think it's really interesting and it has like potential to become really good,
Mhm.
say career experience there. What scores do you have in IELTS and say SAT? Okay, my IELTS is 7.5 and my SAT is 1400. Other questions?
If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and
Is it really difficult to get a visa, as other people say? Okay, just be logical there. If you have every documents that you need and your like relatives didn't do any visa regulations in the other countries, you're good to go. And make sure that every document is legal and is real. Regarding the financial statements, it should be real. Don't 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 fake things because if you lie, they will know it. They are professionals and they have been here for a long time and they know Uzbek students, they're, I would say, somehow the way things work. So make sure that you're not doing any fake things there. And it's not that difficult. If you think that you are going to get it and you are 100% sure, then speak only the truth and make sure that you deserve the visa, not others. It's not that difficult. Should we have a strong GPA to apply for your uni? You mean Knox? I think it was 3.5, but it depends on the GPA itself because they will consider to the university scholarships depending on the GPA you have. For instance, like if you have 3.5 and more, they will consider you for the I would say presidential scholarship or maybe trustees. So it will vary on the scholarship that you will get and the amount that they will give you. My GPA was like 4.0, so that they give me presidential scholarship, which is like full tuition. Any other questions? We would like to know about the type of essays you have written on your application. Oh, for your application. What do you mean, like personal statement or supplements? Supplements. Okay. As I mentioned, I got into 90 plus universities and applied to crazy amount of schools at the same time. So it was like 150 universities, and I needed to write 70 or plus university supplements. So they differed a lot, like from starting from 5 words until like 600, some research papers, and even like report cards from the schools. So it depends. But the majority was like those three: contribution essays, why the school, and why this major. Just make sure that you are doing really good research and make sure that you are giving specific data about the university, and this is like credible things that you are mentioning there. Okay, any other questions? How did you get into the university? Okay, because I had really good test scores and my GPA was high, and probably because of the supplements and the personal statement that I wrote there. And I followed every instructions that Common App was asking for me, like extracurriculars. I did a lot of internships and volunteering. So yeah. What was your score when you graduated from Samdu? Suvonov? What? Okay. I took my SAT. Okay. You're from Samdu school. Okay, my SAT was 1400. Okay. Okay. My SAT was 1400 when I graduated from Samdu University, like school. 750 on maths and then 650 from IELTS. Not English lesson because it was like kind of hard. And I had 6 months to prepare, so. Any other questions? Is IELTS 6 enough to apply to the university? It depends on the universities that you are applying. If you want to get accepted to good school with good financial aid and scholarships, they require a bigger SAT, for instance, like maybe 7 plus or 6.5. So 6 can be enough for some universities, but I'm pretty sure that they're not good universities that you want to study, and they don't offer the same qualities as the better ones offer. So yeah, it's enough. It's enough to study in the United States. And you can always take English lessons there. How much time you spent for ACT? It was 6 months. I started from July till December. Yeah. What it takes to get 100% grant. Okay. What it takes to get 100% grant. It depends on the university that you're applying, and it's somehow a luck that you are trying to get. Okay. And it depends on the test scores that you have and probably the GPA, all of the things combined. So they will take a look at your application and they will give specific scholarships that will cover full tuition or full scholarship there, full cost of attendance. So it depends on everything, the quality of your application itself. People say that it's possible to get SAT within 2 months. Is it real? Okay, if you have 8 in IELTS or like 7.5 in IELTS, at least, and your math is like you are proficient in 11-year curriculum of Uzbekistan, if you will study at least 4 hours a day, you can get 2 months. Like you can get 1400 in 2 months. I'm pretty sure. But if you don't have these things, it's gonna be really hard. So in general, it's not possible. Is Knox is uni located in a good state? I mean, the quality of life. Okay, it was in town named Galesburg in the Illinois city, so it was like 32 miles apart from Chicago, so you can just go there and take a train. and the quality of life is really good. People are so good, and I'm a kind of a nature person, so that's why I choose Knox. And yeah, there were a lot of beautiful places and buildings that you can visit there. I have IELTS 6 and ACT 3, 1300. Can I get 100% grant? Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? It can depend on your GPA. If you have like 5.0 GPA here, maybe you can get and apply for the other scholarships as well, maybe talent scholarships, that will cover some specific amount of money. GPA for, is it in Uzbekistan system or maybe US? I'm not sure, because if you don't have something strong from your academics place, it's hard to get 100% like need-based aid or maybe like merit aid there. If it's not a secret, tell us please, how much is your tuition fee? How much you want? Okay. My tuition in the university, it was like 57,000, 57,000. And firstly, I won 54,000 there, and I auditioned for the talent scholarship, which is like writing and drawing. So I got 5,000 more. And overall, I got 59,000 out of 15. No, no. Yeah, 59,000 out of 57. So I had like 2,000 more that I got from there. So yeah, you can just make some money there and live there. But I just came back because they're offering me like free education in better university. What do you mean about talent grant? Okay, there is some specific scholarship that they will give you because of maybe talent scholarships. You can draw, you need to submit a portfolio on that. Maybe 3 year scholarships, writing scholarship, there were like 4 types of them. So I applied for the 2 and I got 5,000 there for the scholarship. How did you get the grant? I explained it to you, like you need to submit the specific portfolio or the application for the university related scholarships, but most of the time they consider it when you're applying for the university directly there. How did you get admitted in UK university? Well, actually, with the same things, but when it comes to the UK, I wrote motivation letter, not personal statement, because it somehow sounds like a creative writing itself. So, the university that I'm going to, I applied with Common App because I didn't have a lot of money. And the fact is, I didn't spend any money when I was applying for the universities. I applied for fully free. So all you need to do is like to do research. Um, yep, there are some universities that don't like require application fees in the United States and the UK and other countries. There are grants for sportmen. You mean sports scholarships? It depends on the universities. For instance, in my university, they didn't give it because only it was like talent scholarships. But if you get into clubs of the university, for instance, like maybe soccer, maybe football, maybe volleyball, you can skip some lessons and they will give you full credits there. So it depends on the university that you are applying for that. Any other questions?
I think we can wrap up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think, Gulsevar?
Yep, I think we combined all of the things I mentioned. If you have, for example, sport awards or certificate, can I get something from the university? Sure, they will consider you for more scholarships if they want, but it depends on the university, as I mentioned before. They might have sports scholarships, but again, you need to do research and provide your portfolio, because if you're showing that you have some kind of talent or like certificates, they will try to award you something in return. Just do research with the universities. Thank you.
Okay, so we can wrap up here. I would say, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Thank you very much, Gulsevar, for your time and for your commitment.
Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you.
we love it. And um, okay, we can wrap up here. Thank you very much. If you will have any questions, just drop a message in your student chat, and the mentor will reply to your questions. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye bye.